What is going on, everybody? I know it has been a long time since you've last heard my voice and seen my face and seen anything the gaming related, but rest assured we are back. It is I, Anthony Grant, aka Antonius the Gamer. Once again, I am joined by Tim, and we have a new recruit to the group. Jory, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, my name is Jory, but AKA Super SSS Rank. That's what I'm known as. So that's it, pretty much.
Okay. And Tim, if you want to reintroduce yourself to the people, again, this is the relaunch. People again probably already know your voice, but back again for the first time. Once again, go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Once again, this is Timothy Smith. I'm glad to be back here with Anthony, and nice to meet you, Jory.
Likewise, man. Nice to meet you too, man. I've seen some of your work before, so I'm familiar with you, man. You and Ant. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to having a good time discussing what we like to do in our free time.
Yeah, I've definitely, obviously, have had very passionate back and forth with you guys about all things gaming related, all things anime related. So I think just having that conversation for other people to enjoy is important as well. So,
Yeah.
we have a lot to discuss. It's been an eventful week. One of the topics we're going to be talking about down the road is how good 2023 seems to be for gamers. It seems to be just a time of just back to back fire dropping. And one of those things that's being announced to be released this year is Mortal Kombat. Right, we're now at Mortal Kombat 12, which is being called Mortal Kombat 1. We're on our third reboot, second reboot, third. Right? This is third.
Um,
I would,
Armageddon count, right?
no, yeah, this is our second reboot. Yeah, this is Mortal Kombat 9 was the first reboot, so this is the second.
Armageddon doesn't count
Well,
because that's where it ended, right?
nine,
That's
yeah,
where
it's like
yeah.
the end, and then nine kind of rebooted it back, and then Tim was right. At 11, we rebooted it again. So
Okay.
we're here at Mortal Kombat 1, second reboot, and I guess spoiler alert for anybody who never got to Mortal Kombat 11, but Raiden has been replaced by Fire God Liu Kang. So the trailer dropped. We saw CGI in all its glory. Although, to NetherRealm's credit, I'm pretty sure the game's going to look about as close to that trailer as possible. Mortal Kombat, especially with 11, it's a beautiful game. Sometimes I would say maybe a little bit too beautiful, right? I think the fatalities when we were younger, it's a lot easier to take it when it's sprites. Now we're seeing an ultra 4K of guts being yanked out and spines, and it can be
Yeah, dog.
be prep for what you're gonna see. Um, so you guys have all had a chance now to see the trailer. What are y'all initial thoughts, and then I'll go.
I'll go first. I really did love the trailer. I love the fact of how everybody was paired up. A lot of people
Mhm.
didn't really realize that was Raiden and Kung Lao at the beginning. But then a lot of people are thinking, all right, well, since Liu Kang has rebooted the universe of time and all that other stuff, which Kung Lao is that? Is that
Mhm.
great Kung Lao? Or is it the Kung Lao that he was always known as his childhood friend with? Nobody
Mhm.
knows. Because, they said they're revamping the characters that you have never seen them before. Because in the trailer, it looked like Kitana and Melina were actually close, like they're not enemies. So because especially it kind of looked like is Melina like her bodyguard or something of that nature, because they were riding together in the carriage, and they also had Sub Zero and Scorpion who look almost identical, so
Mhm.
like twins of the same clan this time around. Like one is a Cryomancer, one is a Cryomancer. So I'm just really looking interested to see how these characters that they have a classic build, but I want to see like how are they revamping them moving forward.
Okay, Joy, what are your thoughts?
Um, the trailer, the trailer was I say a 7 for me. Only because uh, Shang Tsung was DLC.
I mean,
That's
they didn't announce that in the trailer.
no,
I
no.
mean,
Now that we know, you feel me? Now that we know, it's not. Come on.
mhm.
Yo, listen. Okay, so like I didn't think I thought I was gonna be immune to like the fatalities, nah. I still like ah yeah, kid. Nah. I thought I could take it, nah, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. As far as art direction, I don't hate the Deadly Alliance and Mortal Kombat Deception Run.
Okay.
I think that was probably some of the best designed Mortal Kombat characters. If you were to bring them in today's engine, and for what those things would have been flawless. As far as and I was kind of
I think
huh?
given the history of costumes, I wouldn't be surprised if they do pull from those as alternative costumes.
I hope they do, cause in my opinion, I kind of if they're gonna go this route, I want to see a human reptile. I don't like lizard man reptile.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because for me, my impression of when I would play Mortal Kombat was like reptile was the highest level of the ninjas because of how hard it was to get to him,
mm.
and he was nearly impossible to beat. Like beating reptile was an accomplishment before you went on to Goro. You went into all the other MK characters, and even the way they presented him in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just like, okay, why is Reptile now being treated like some lackey or some, like some He-Man character? Oh yes, Shao Kahn. You know what I'm saying? That thing, I lost it. I see, oh, this the one that was destroying Liu Kang in first person with the
Mm,
kicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, man. I couldn't really get behind it, man. I couldn't really get behind it. But with this one, I like Fire God Liu Kang. I think that was very interesting.
mm.
Very interesting. Perspective that they took with it. But with this Mortal Kombat, I didn't see any gameplay. My only problem with Mortal Kombat is the one-handed combos. You'll do a 30 hit combo with one hand. I could not get behind the animations, man.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
rated,
that's a common complaint for them, though, like that their animations
yeah.
have been a little stiff, in comparison to some of the other more modern fighters. You know.
Raiden's whole set would be this, and this hand right here, just slaps, and
Mm,
then some thunder here, and I'm just like, nah, they can't sell me this, man. You
yeah.
can't sell me this, man. So, I think I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do with the story. I don't know. I'm still in love with Sub Zero and Scorpion being enemies. I
Yeah.
kind of yeah. I kind of like that storyline, man.
I don't know. I'm with Tim. I'm over it only because like in the legacy. So I'll give my thoughts first. I think the trailer was fine. I think it's standard Mortal Kombat teaser stuff. For about 3 games now, you'll get a trailer that doesn't really show any gameplay. It kind of shows elements of what might be in the game, but nothing concrete. I do think it's gonna be interesting. Given that this is the second reboot now, I, for one, especially with the Aftermath DLC, have not been the biggest fan of NetherRealm's modern take on their characters. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not. There's been some things that I like. Like I do again, like Scorpion and Sub Zero eventually put aside their differences. I do like the fact that they try to advance the storyline to the point where it's not just about the main cast over and over and over again. But it's just certain things where it's like you did the reboot in 9, and then in 10, it's such a jump skip that you're just like, I'm figuring out how to fall in love with these characters again, and now you're introducing me to Cassie Cage and the next generation 1 game later, and then you get to 11, half those characters are cut that were introduced, and we're kind of back to this thing where it's like, yeah, Sindel was a victim of circumstance. No, just kidding. Sindel was always evil. And you're just like, was she? Like is Kotal Khan just like the Krillin of like the NetherRealm Empire? Like he just kind of gets bodied all the time. Yeah,
Trash.
so kind
They
of
didn't.
curious. Like, how are they going to do this reboot in a way where like are these storyline revisions going to be interesting enough to kind of warrant rebooting the timeline yet again?
Okay. Thank you for saying Kotal Khan. But Raiden was Kotal Khan before Kotal Khan. Ever since 9.
He's useless. Mhm.
Yo, he literally turned from to Raiden from dead Mortal Kombat Annihilation Raiden.
Mhm.
Trash. No, I had no fear, no intimidation. I don't think so. What happened? What happened? Y'all remember that? What
Mhm.
happened? You feel me? So now I'm just looking at Raiden like Raiden is just like, yo, what are you doing, man? And then his design overall just didn't speak to me. His design from Mortal Kombat Deception and Deadly Alliance spoke more to me than even that Quan Chi. Quan Chi is different.
Mhm.
You know, like Quan Chi looked like he had some high level of intelligence. I was afraid when I seen Quan Chi on screen and Shang Tsung. You know, they were like masterminds in their own right. They gave me I'm not gonna say he was the Frieza. Quan Chi was the Frieza of Mortal Kombat, but he gave me that level of threat.
Mhm.
You know, Shang Tsung gave me a full powered uh Xanatos from Gargoyles vibe.
Mhm.
Just the cunningness and the charm and from his design, not having them talk too much, but just from the design. Raiden seemed very wise and literally all odds were against him. You know, the way they built up that trailer for Deception where Naga came out, you know, that trailer, that sequence right there, and then the voice actor, why change? That guy was amazing, man. He had the wise, raspy voice. He was the closest thing to the actor that did or at least the actor that did the actual movie that was actually rated in the first one.
Mhm.
In a way, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, I'm somewhat puzzled, man, because I think 10 was where it started to go, you know, it started to go left, man. It started to get very bizarre.
Which
Yeah,
is weird because like, 9 was so good. But sorry, go ahead.
yeah, because like the thing with Mortal Kombat 10, or Mortal Kombat X, as you would say, like Anthony mentioned earlier, it was the time jump that was too much. Because if you didn't read those prequel comics leading up, you would have been lost. Like, yes, the
Well,
big story that I felt that had the most sense was when Sub Zero and Scorpion found out the truth. They found out the
Mhm.
truth as to why they were enemies for so long, and then they resolved that, and then they rebuilt both of their clans. I mean, well, Scorpion's clan didn't really last too long for certain matters, but and then just like how you said, these combat kids. Jax had a kid, Sonya had a kid, and you're trying to make these fall in love with these characters. The comic books was very good. I mean, but they killed a lot of people. They killed
Awesome.
a lot of people, bro. So
Yeah.
so what is this roster really going to look like? Because just like how Mortal Kombat 9 was like basically like a fast forward reboot of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, I was looking forward to Mortal Kombat X showing Deadly Alliance characters, Deception characters. Nope. You
Kung
got
James with the bow staff.
yeah, let's bring in these cats right here. We got Takada.
yeah, Takeda, but Takeda was everybody's favorite combat kid, Takeda
Mm.
and Jackie. But then here comes Mortal Kombat 11. Oh, where's Takeda?
Who knows? He gets name dropped.
He just gets name dropped and that's it.
Mhm.
I think what got me mad was seeing Ermac in the tomb in the crypt. I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
yo, y'all actually did a great design on homie, and y'all just put him here. From running through the cave, and
Right
then and then,
off
and
screen.
I couldn't believe it. And to go back to Deadly Alliance, the reason why I have so much respect for the gameplay wasn't all that good, but the storyline from Deadly Alliance and Deception Conquest mode, what I actually like Sujinko, and I hope to see him back in the game someday.
Mm.
Because Sujinko is actually one of the most powerful characters, and the storyline for Sujinko is you go on this journey in Deception from him being a young lad to this old man, and it's a tragic story because he got conned his whole life for a false calling, right? But the adventure and seeing his transition, it was just beyond. I'm like, man, this junk is amazing, man. Because the transition that he was going through, you would meet certain characters, and then he had to go back and get purified because he was corrupted because he was talking to what's his name from the Chaos Realm?
Havoc.
Havoc. And Havoc was such, when me talking to Havoc, it was so, there was something so captivating about Havoc. I'm like, why would you make this a comic book?
Mm-hmm.
This could have easily been a video game storyline. And y'all decide to turn it into a book. I don't get it, man. That's the same problem with Halo. The last boss is killed off screen on some pages, page 24. I could not believe it.
So
You
I
know,
guess
and it's just like, yo, what are these developers doing? Do they get so smart that they feel that they can't make no? I don't know, man.
so. All right. So I want to talk about with Mortal Kombat going to the reboot. We'll first talk about the story and then the potential roster. Right. So to your point, Jory, with Havoc and him and I, we've had our conversations about the lack of realm representation, right? And one of the things that I've always praised Mortal Kombat for, especially starting from 9, is I, in my opinion, that they've trailblazed, at least from their generation, fighting game storytelling, right? Like, granted, you could argue that the writing at some points were kind of whack, but I'm like, if we're talking about a cinematic story mode, we've been getting cinematic story modes from NetherRealm for about 3 games now. And my question to you guys is, okay, we're seeing this reboot. Um, it kind of begins the question kind of comes of like, okay, well, Shang Tsung can't be the final boss if he's going to be DLC. So who kind of ends up being the true big bad if not Shang Tsung? And if Shang Tsung is DLC, does that mean that he's still responsible for making Melina the way he did in the original timeline? Like, what do you guys think as far as like story? What changes would you hope to see? I'll say for me, I definitely want all the realms having some type of interaction this game. Like, I don't want to see no teasers. I don't want to hear no more name drops. Whatever the storyline is, I want to see every single realm represented in some way. For me, Big Bad Boss, I think they could probably go up as far as Onaga, in my opinion. Like, Onaga hasn't been in the game for what, a decade, so I could see him kind of being the big bad. I don't think, even though I don't think they handle Shinnok the best in X, I don't think it's time to kind of bring him back out the gate. I think you can just go for like ultra big bad out the gate. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny you mentioned Onaga because there have been leaks about that. When you in the trailer, you see that huge eclipse, and that's what people are suspecting, like it's the return of Onaga. Because that's one thing about it is like, yes, Liu Kang has rebooted the universe timeline, but then the thing about it is like, what time period are we actually in? Because like, yes, like the only futuristic character that they've mentioned that's going to be in the game is Johnny Cage. But then
Mm-hmm.
in Luke Cage universe, you don't know what that actually means. Because maybe like you see all these elderly people in these other realms, but then in Earth realm probably has a present day what we know like Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, all those other things. I do feel like Onaga should make a return. Because I think, especially like the way how Aftermath ended is like, bro, we've done Shang Tsung already, so why would you want to do that again?
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like maybe the surprise is going to be Onaga. Um, and just like how like how we said with the other characters, remember this is the still Raiden who's still alive from MK11.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, and then you saw when they showcased his character, you saw the thunder and the lightning in the background. So my
Mm-hmm.
thing about it is, all right, is he going to be more of like a magic lightning person? Because remember, he gave up his godhood to be. I mean, I would say like kind of mortal, but who knows? And then another thing is, did Liu Kang create a whole new pantheon? Are you just the only god out there?
Mm. I
And
mean, that's true. The gods have never really done anything in any of these games, so that's true. Like, I don't know if they're going to be revised as well, or they just do they kind of exist outside of time and space.
yeah,
Okay. Let me go on Ant's point, and then I'm gonna go to Tim. I don't think the realms would work only because it's not a. The realms would work, but we won't. They won't be fulfilling like they would in Deception because we're not there for a period of time. Like we can't explore it. We only visit it through cutscenes. I guess it could work, if you do it cinematically. But for me, the reason why the realms worked in Deception is because I went to the Chaos realm and I saw who was there. I don't think Hotaru is a bad character. In context, when he was in the realm of order, Hotaru was the most intimidating. I was terrified of him. You couldn't break no laws. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you don't explore the realms, it's not gonna really be as fulfilling because it's like, oh, you're gonna, because we you did it in 11 and in 10. We went to Kodo Khan's realm and you found out that he was this, that, and then you saw what's that thing with the that lady that be she
Huh?
be no, not the Devore. That's a good character. I remember her name. Was it Tavor? It
Oh,
was two
Ferret.
Oh,
Fair
fair.
Ferret.
Ferratora. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna really enjoy it because there's no conquest mode like that in Mortal Kombat. For me, I thought Mortal Kombat was gonna add like a Shaolin Monks mode. That would have been the most genius thing they could have done. But
All right.
we dreaming, right? We dreaming. But yeah, I mean, I feel like you're not gonna fully enjoy it. And with Onaga, I want Onaga to come back. But what made Onaga presence so amazing was the fact that everybody thought they was okay. Like I'm Shao Kahn and I'm here. I'm still on the throne. Ha ha ha. And Shang Tsung, everybody like, hey, yeah, man, we all here gonna try to usurp you, man. And that's pretty much that's what's gonna be the story. Then Omaga comes out of nowhere. And now you seeing the villains, let's set aside our differences and work together. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see that. I feel like that would make Onaga a very, very much more of an immense threat because of just even how they did that in spurts unintentionally in the Armageddon conquest mode or the story, whatever mode that was with Taven and Dagon. That story mode was that's actually an amazing storyline in
Mm.
Mortal Kombat. And I don't understand why they won't go that route.
I wonder because I guess we could use this point to kind of get into the roster a little bit, right? I wonder if because Tim and I we talked about this before of
Wait, wait,
like
wait. Before, let me say this. I think this is important for me to say. Okay, with the roster, that's why it's like for Umaga to have the full effect that I feel like, unless they write it in an amazing way, for him the full effect that I'm anticipating for him to have on people, you have to have Shao Kahn, you have to have Quan Chi, you have to have all the villains that villain, and this for me would be a great introduction to introduce his villain. Like, yo, who's Onaga's guys? Because since we're in these ancient times, let's see, let's see who's his
mm,
team, who's his four horsemen, and then when we see his four horsemen, oh, that's why he's the Dragon King. That would kind of like that would make way more of an impact. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really think they should do. But it's just as far as the roster, you have to have everybody that you have to have some form of everybody that presence there that was in Deception or in Armageddon. You know?
right, and that's the thing. Like the issue with Mortal Kombat, and I think it's not just them, right? I think it's a problem with a lot of modern fighters. Is at what point, as a developer, do you figure out that a character design is perfect, right? I think, for example, 11. I have never ever been much of like a Kung Lao fan. I don't like the way he fights. I don't like the hat gimmick. Just never did it for me. But something about the way he fought in 11, it's like, it's this quick, like Wing Chun, Ip Man type fighting style. That hat still, it's there. It's used as a buzzsaw. It's used as this. And I'm like, dang, this is really the perfect combination of how to make Kung Lao in my eyes from a how I watch him in games. I think there's a lot of games, sorry, a lot of characters in 11 where it's like people kind of, they say about the combat not being the most complex. Fair enough. I'm thinking in terms of like authenticity of the characters, like how many more times do we have to have a new fighting system? How many more times do I have to relearn Liu Kang for you guys are just like, we don't have to do much work on him. We'll kind of copy and paste, add a couple of mix-ups, and move on, right? Because what's going to happen is we're going to get another game with like a base roster of, let's just say, 18 to 20 characters. And most of them is going to be reimaginings of the characters that we've seen for the past 20 years. Where do we kind of draw the line, and who is now considered like a Mortal Kombat staple of like no matter what, they need to be playable in the game from jump, and they can't be DLC because like I said, I talked about this with Tim. You cannot, in my opinion, have Mortal Kombat and have Shang Tsung be DLC. That was like blasphemous in 11. I'm like, how do you make the original villain of the game DLC? Why were we sold Rain twice? we got Soul Rain in Mortal Kombat 9, and we got Soul Rain again in Mortal Kombat 11. Where do we kind of like as fans kind of like, look, these are the things that we expect from Jump, and what does that look like to you guys? Tim, you could start us off. Like, what do you think? Like, if I had to build a roster of 20 characters, who needs to be in this game for the story to make sense?
Okay, I mean, I could tell that they're definitely gonna build off the Mortal Kombat 9 route. So I definitely would say, like, yes, I would see Liu Kang, but he will be the last unlockable character since he's a god now.
Mhm.
And we never truly got Fire God Liu Kang in 11. Like, you played as him, but not like a full-fledged one. So they're gonna add new combos. Yeah. So I would say Liu Kang. I would say Kung Lao, Raiden, Melina, Katana. Since you did see those people in the trailer, I would say Shang Tsung, Sub Zero, Scorpion. This definitely speaks reptile, because especially you see all this luxurious backgrounds. So definitely a reptile. Um, the thing that I'm a bit confused about now is like other sub characters who are like very good big staples now. Like for example, on the ninja side, since Scorpion and Sub Zero are now like basically probably what it looks like one clan. What is the status about Cyrax, Sector, and Smoke?
Mm.
Now, Smoke, I would be very interested to see because they've been hinting about like this demon form that he has for so long, but we've never got actual gameplay of that. They just kind of always just gone back to the staple. Oh, we want the cyborgs back, and they just give us the cyborgs back. So those state of those ninjas, even Tremor, who finally got his big game debut on Mortal Kombat X, and then 11, he just disappeared, and everybody loved the Earth style ninja because he had molten rocks, he had crystals, he was brutal, and even from the animated movies, he has a very unique design that people loved. Um, Now on the villain side of things,
All right. Do you
that
think we get new cyber
that's a
since Beyond's a lot? You
uh
think
that's the biggest question because the whole Scorpion and Sub Zero friendship was the younger one and Scorpion, but what is the status about Bihan now, which was the elderly one, which started the whole feud in the first place? So that's a big question mark. A lot of the villains are in a good question mark because you would think, yeah, like Liu Kang, I'm making this new world, but I'm not going to be a dick. I'm going to let you choose what you decide. So I'm thinking like, all right, well, is Kano coming back? Will we see more of the Black Dragon or the Red Dragon? Because you mentioned Tavon and his brother earlier, which opens up into Rain. Because remember they were all siblings. So like,
Oh, that's his brothers. Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
So
why wasn't Rain in Armageddon?
I believe he was. I believe
I
it.
He wasn't a part of the story.
Well,
might? Because
yeah,
Armageddon essentially was their Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think like everybody ever was in
No,
Armageddon.
they were in there, but he wasn't in the story. They never crossed paths. It was either Tavon and Dagon talking to each other.
yeah. Like everybody have always said like Rain was always like the black sheep of the family. Like even though dude has mystical powers, but yeah. I definitely do see Rain coming back, but not as DLC. I definitely see him coming back. Um, yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about the DLC leak, that was announced the other day, we could
We
talk.
will. I'm gonna let Joy get his roster predictions out first, but we will definitely talk about the DLC because that already got me tight. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is an NRS thing, a Warner Brothers thing, or both. But I'm like the way they be handling these character packs. I'm like I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't understand.
Go ahead, Joey.
For roster, who do I want to see, or who do I think is going to be there? Huh?
A little bit of both.
Havoc.
Okay.
Yes, I think he
Ha-
has to be in the
I
Deftones.
mean, I think Havoc needs to be there. I want to see Sujinko. Um, no, because Sujinko, you could make Sujinko work, man. It's not him. He's probably the easiest to remake. Like you put Bo Raicho in the game. Come on, Bo Raicho, dog. You
I
feel?
all right. The only reason why I feel Shijinko would not be in, and this is something that me and Anthony mentioned, I realize games are starting to get rid of the mimic characters. And
Mm,
Shujinko is basically a mimic character, like
he was.
earn his moves from you. So that's my only reason why I feel he would not be in the game. And
Okay.
that's but
Okay.
yes.
I mean, he was anti Shang Tsung, so you make sense though. You're not wrong. I want to see Havoc, Sujinko, even though he might not be there. I want to see Reptile redone, man. I don't want Skeletor Reptile, He-Man villain Reptile. I don't nah, dog. I don't want to see that kid. I want to see the Reptile, and it makes sense for Reptile to be there if you're gonna introduce Umaga, right? Like like
Yeah.
I don't want to see Reptile. Yes, Lord, I'm here for you. No, man, none of that. I want Reptile. Yes, Master. Your human reptile that he'll transform. Or you'll see reptile's eyes as dragon eyes. Something intimidating. If you make reptile look like the villain from that Shaolin Showdown um cartoon, that dragon man, underneath the veil or underneath the ninja mask,
Hmm.
Chinese inspired ninjery, not Japanese inspired, with the little I'm all for it, man. You feel me? I want to see a redesign like that. Um, I actually want to see Movado, man.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think the whole Black Dragon clan was its best in Deadly Alliance and in Deception. The clan felt like an immense threat because you came across them, and now you have Kano and Javik. Javik now has become notorious because of his YouTube memes. You think you can get rid of me this easy? You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Javik
Oh
felt
yeah.
like trash. I didn't think nobody could feel dirtier than Kano. But when I seen Javik, they both feel dirty. I said, man, this clan is garbage. This is good villainy. So I want to see Movado because I felt like Movado he was interesting, man. He uses his blood to fight. You know what I'm saying? He was a blood mancer or whatever you call it. Um,
Yes.
yeah, Movado uses his blood. He would use his blood to get up to pull you to him. He would use his blood like whips or something like that. That's what I remember him at least. I'm gonna go back and check again, but
Last time I checked, wasn't Bravado? Did he use the same weapons as Cabal, but he didn't have super speed?
no. But when he didn't use the weapons, he used his blood. He had like blood attacks or whatever. He would like a vampire almost.
I mean, but I do feel like Scarlet is a better decision.
Nah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So that's why I can't really say anything. But if you did bring back Movado, bring him back in a different way. I want to see Nitara.
Okay, that's a good.
Nitara could come back. Nitara. Let's see who else. Who else? Um, if you bring back Kai, you gotta change him.
Yes.
You gotta change the Wakandan Kai pre Black Panther. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. Nah, we not doing this, kid. We not doing this, kid. We not doing this. But if we bringing back Kai, you know what I'm saying, we gotta do it. Don't bring back Samuel L. Jackson Darian. I know y'all boys remember homie, kid. The yellow shades, bald man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Don't bring back homie, kid. Don't even bring back his aesthetic. We going I'm a protest, bro. You feel me? So him, I want to see Montaro come back, but they gotta do something. Because he could work. He could work. Montaro could work. I feel like Montaro is a staple villain. You feel me? So it's like Montaro was that man we could not beat, and when you finally beat him, his death pose was so immaculate. Like you beat him. So I felt like we need that. You know what I'm saying? So who else, man? There's a couple, man. I actually like Striker.
They're
I
not.
like, I like, I like, I like, I like MK3 Striker.
Yeah, they're not bringing him back, bro.
No, I know.
We need.
Striker's dead. Striker's
I
dead.
think. I think their middle ground is going to be Peacemaker. That's going to be Striker without being Striker.
Yeah,
They're
because
That's
switching
whack,
up.
dog.
basically how RoboCop was basically Striker for MK11.
Wow, man, he done. Oh my
They're just
goodness.
finding ways to go around that.
Yeah,
Fujin. I like Fujin.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think Finn has to make the base roster this time. Yeah,
DLC.
yes. Definitely. Yeah.
Devora. That's probably the best characters that they made in a long time. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. I
yeah.
agree.
Devora could come back. Tremor could come back. Tremor could come back. Tremor could come back. Devora could come back. Human Smoke. No Human Smoke.
So we want Demon Smoke.
I think we want a playable Smoke is what we want. But I'm gonna tell
Okay.
y'all right now, I think it's up for y'all boys. Y'all Smoke fans, y'all gonna have a long day when he's a non-playable assist. I'm sorry. I don't know why they don't like him, but Smoke's days as a playable character are over. I don't know
Ermac
why.
gotta come back. Ermac gotta come back.
I think
Uh,
Ermac should come back as well.
uh,
Ermac should come back. Okay. Who's an interesting character but not interesting? She had the white Chinese clothing.
oh, Asher.
Asher or something like that. They have to do her different, man. Like, I put some fox paint on her, put a red dot, and then the hat. Do something, but she could work,
Mm.
and she could work. She could work. If you do put Sujinko, put young Sujinko or middle aged Sujinko, or just like, dog, you got to do something, man. The name raw, man. The name is in my mind, kid. You know what I'm saying? But
No mimic characters.
no, I
No,
know. Don't make him a mimic character. I don't know.
character.
You could do something with him, man. Give
Yeah.
him a stand or something, man. Like, you know what I'm
Like
saying? Like,
as much as I do enjoy mimic characters to some degree, I think they can be sometimes a very interesting, like a different take. Like like not for nothing is like I would kind of want to see Chameleon come back. Like I would love to kind of see like what do you do with like the female reptile? I don't know, right? She hasn't been in the game in forever, that kind of thing. But it's true. I think the mimic character era is over. Like people hated what's her face in 11? I'm blanking right now. From Sub Zero's clan.
Oh,
Frost. Oh
Frost.
no,
People
because
hated her.
they turned her into
cyborg.
they
Yeah,
turned her into a He-Man villain, dog. Come on,
that,
man.
that was
Like,
Sorry, what you say to?
that was a good take when they turned her into a cyborg. But then that's what I was like. So Cyrax and Sector didn't get the same treatment. Like they're half human, half. I was like, so we just got the basic robot. I was like, okay,
Yeah, I liked it. I liked turning her into a cyborg, but the way it was handled was like she just kind of became another henchman. Like there was nothing else. She's just like, yep, I'm with the Cyber Initiative, and that's that. It's just like, why are you here? Like, what
yeah,
is
she went straight Skynet, man. That's crazy.
it? Immediate? It's like, right.
Oh man. Let me go into my Mortal Kombat Deception and Armageddon.
Do want to keep moving into the DLC and assists.
Okay.
So we do know, like what Tim saying earlier with the leaks, right? I don't know where these leaks be coming from. Like, how do y'all leak the DLC before the roster gets leaked? But whatever, right? So we're kind of seeing with the DLC leaks, we're seeing again Peacemaker from the DC universe. We're seeing Homelander supposedly from the boys. We're seeing was it Takeda was in there on that list too?
I got the list right here.
Okay.
The six playable characters is Quan Chi, Omni Man from Invincible, Ermac, Peacemaker, Takeda, and Homelander. Now, in reference to Omni Man and Homelander,
Homelander.
me and Anthony already know what this is for because they always do templates for the next game, which we know is Injustice. So this is definitely a template for whatever they're planning to do with Superman or anybody like Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how Catwoman and Injustice 2 was for Melina.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how Scarecrow was Noob Saibot for like Mortal Kombat 11. All of
Mhm.
the characters are going to be some form of template, which is Injustice.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about it being going the I guess you could say off brand superhero route? Because I think it's been interesting on the other side of things, right? I do think, for example, with Injustice, having Scorpion, having Sub Zero be like these cameo characters, having Raiden was interesting. But
Not,
can you
not
take Homelander seriously when he's fighting Johnny Cage? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that's going to be a good blend on the other side in the Mortal Kombat universe?
I I mean I think the seller is Omni Man and Homelander. They're in the same game. That's it. That's all you need. All the YouTube fight and storylines. I don't know why they Superman taking two blows from them boy. That to me is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like yo,
Superman's out of here. Both of them out of there.
Superman. Listen, Bruce Timm Superman from the cartoons. The you know what I'm saying? WB after school program is clapping. No, and then don't even let me bring up Justice League Unlimited Superman. That's a different Clark Kent. No nonsense Clark Kent, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm watching the series right now. Like I'm like, yo, this is some peak writing. We had peak actors doing the voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, yo, why is this guy Mongo so? Why is he speaking so? With so much poise. You come to find out that's Falcone. That's Falcone from Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
He a fall like this is not gonna kill me. And then Christian Bale drops him. That's the actor who plays Mongo's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the voice of Darkseid, which to me, when you want to say perfect casting,
Justice League, I wouldn't say Dark Side, yes, and not for nothing. Justice League's Lex Luthor, that voice, I can't picture any other voice playing Lex Luthor than that voice. I don't know who that guy is, but
did
he's
you
like,
see John? Did you see John Wick
yes,
4? Did you, Tim? You didn't see it yet? Okay. At the gentleman with the hat
the hat.
at the final during the final bout, yeah, that's him. Yeah,
Really?
that's him.
Yeah, he's the one.
Yeah,
He's
that's him. That's him.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like so. Okay, we know for a fact that with the DLC, again, they're doing the crossover universe. We know for a fact that microtransactions are coming back at some point based off, I think it's like the Dragon Crystals or something that they used from last game.
It's WB, man.
It is WB,
It's WB.
but I think there's certain things that I do. I guess we'll have to wait to see how the gameplay rolls out, but I am kind of concerned out the gate where it's like you got the microtransactions out the gate. They're probably more than likely going to bring back the gear system, which I think is one of the worst things that they've done in both Injustice and Mortal Kombat. The cosmetic side, cool. The whole this one gives you a little bit more punching power. I'm like, this just doesn't mesh with this franchise, And then Tim, I know you had a lot to say about these assist only non playable characters. Where is your concern for our audience about the NPCs that are coming as Marvel vs. Capcom assists?
Well, also in the DLC leaked, we also got the so-called cameo character list, and it says Tremor, Johnny Cage, Chameleon, Movado, and Farah. Now,
Wow.
now there's hope, and there's also some a little fear in there because like they did announce that Johnny Cage is a playable character. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, so does the payable character list and the cameo fighting list do some of them overlap? Like both characters on both sides. But then on NetherRealm these days, you just never know. Because like I was so happy fighting MK11 story, finding I'm fighting these characters again. So we definitely gotta play as them when I beat this chapter. No. So So in the coming months, because it's apparently it's coming out in September. So in the next 2 months, we should know what's going down.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you guys, man. I'm not a big MK fan, as much as I used to be. I mean, I still like the world, but I'm just not gonna go out. I'm just not gonna invest in as far as playing like I used to. I think I'm pretty much I'm not a 2D guy anymore, man. I
Mm.
like the 3D. I'm more of a 3D XYZ axis guy. You know, it just there's just more. It's just more for me there. Versus me having to be very precise, putting in the inputs to do a charge character from Street Fighter to do Gaio's flash kick right after, connecting to only do his special. That's some work, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's Tekken is more manageable, even though with the sidestepping, that's a whole nother realm. But I still feel it's more tangible for me. You know,
I mean, to be honest, Tekken has had the best marketing so far.
It really has, which is wild. I mean, we'll talk about that probably in the showcase predictions, but Tekken, quiet as kept. I mean, it's just been you haven't really seen much story elements yet, but it's just like, yo, the character reveal list is already at what, like 15 characters so far, or just like,
yeah. And
and yeah,
Harang put a nail in people's coffin, boy. Like that trailer, his redesign.
Yes, I was like, bro, no more punk rock.
They gotta fix Paul though.
they
No,
will.
they gotta fix Paul.
They're gonna do exactly what
No,
Paul.
no, no. You can't have Backstreet Boy Paul.
No, they're gonna fix him.
You feel me?
Trust me.
Nah, you can't have Backstreet Boy Paul, man. Like he could have the clothes. The clothes is fine. It's
Paul
the hair.
Paul is going through what Ken is going through, like that midlife crisis looking look. So like that's why
Man, I
they're
don't
so
they
rugged.
don't like Ken, man. They don't like Ken, man.
Yeah,
They don't like Ken, man.
Paul will get the Street Fighter Five Ken approach where like they'll patch him at some point to kind of make him a little bit more realistic to how he used to look. Because his reveal trailer, I'm like, who? This is
Is
Paul?
that yeah? That's Paul. Yeah, man. Just like Lehu Long. That I could not believe it, dog. If
Yeah,
you seen Tekken 7 Lehu Long, you're gonna be like, nah, that's not Lei. That's some guy.
yeah.
It's literally some guy. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull up his face, man. Y'all gotta see this, man. Where my iPad at?
In the meantime, yeah, I think the Mortal Kombat, it remains to be seen. I think we're kind of getting to a point, unfortunately, where you got to take the good with the bad. It's I think nine, even though people will say it has its flaws, and it does, I think nine was probably the last time you got in the kind of complete package in one Mortal Kombat entry. Like X
Yes.
was cool, but it had its drawbacks. 11 was cool. Like we've never seen a story extension and all this stuff in a Mortal Kombat franchise, but it had its drawbacks. Like we mentioned earlier, like people just important characters being killed off screen. You're just like, yo, so Kenshi dead, Ermac dead. There's people that's dead, dead, dead. And the story not necessarily going in a place that we would have wanted to see. Sonya dying, that kind of thing. So I feel like with this reboot, we're looking at, especially with what's been leaked so far, some like inevitable, like here we go again. And I'm starting to wonder, I'm like, how much of this is a NetherRealm Ed Boon decision, and how much of this is Warner Brothers kind of doing Warner Brothers things.
I think it's a mix of both. Um, because it's come to the point where they know, like, especially like after the drought from COVID, they know people are just thirsty for the next installment. Like even like with this recent Street Fighter, like oh the classic Street Fighter 2 characters, they're all in from jump. We're not gonna go the DLC route like how we did last time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're trying to check a few boxes, but they're still gonna kind of bullshit you on certain things because they know people are just gonna buy it. Bro, Pokemon has been doing it for years,
They have.
years,
Uh,
and
Y'all boys ready?
yeah.
So this is the Lei we know. Get a zoom in on that.
okay,
This is the Lei we know, right?
Mm-hmm.
okay. You read it.
This is the Lei in 7. Wow.
I actually
Wow.
had no fault with that design because first of all, like Tekken is starting to really show like the time skips on certain things. So like yes, like the last time we had a main with Lei Lu Long in it, I was like, all right, I believe it was like Tekken. I can't even remember the number, but
Mm-hmm.
showing that these characters are aging now. Like, because we still don't even know how big of a time skip 7 is from 8. But there you see, look at Paul. Paul is an entirely different look. Um, certain characters are getting older and things of that nature. Like you're
That's
starting,
fine,
you're
but
starting to see the age on Kazuya's face.
True.
So it's kind of like, yeah, bro, these characters they are aging, bro. So it's
yeah, yeah.
I didn't take that too hard. I didn't take that to heart.
I mean, it's just like, okay, man, like I feel like Tekken was the closest thing to Tekken is the most successful in doing character swaps, so in introducing characters that have people actually say, yo, bring this person back. Because for a long time it was Beck. Now we don't even care about Beck no more. We got Harang.
Mm.
For a long time, it was people was looking at you crazy. You took out Kazuya. Now Kazuya, it's possible Kazuya not gonna be as
Beck died. Beck
no,
died.
but even so, like Beck was a super popular character.
Yeah.
And look, I don't even care about Law no more. I want Martial Law. No, not Martial Law. I want Forest Law.
Forest Law, yeah, his son.
Like I'm not even mad that Kimimitsu switched and it's a new Kimimitsu.
Yeah, it's her
I'm
daughter.
I'm okay. Even with what's the June's daughter switch. Yeah, June. There's like two Junes.
Julie, you mean Julia?
Julia. Yeah, you had June and then Julia, right? No, June is
June is
Kazuya, Jin's mom.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you had Julia and you had the other girl's name, but they both pretty much fought the same.
Yeah.
You could play as her in Tekken Tag too.
Yeah.
But Tekken is the most successful at doing that. Like I'm not mad that and I love Heihachi. I'm not mad that he's not in this game.
Keep him dead.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad he's not in this game. So my thing is like I think it's okay for you to have like new characters introduced. Tekken will be fine. The Zavora lady, that lady is now for me. She has to be in Tekken now because she actually matters. The Egyptian woman, the Iranian woman.
Oh yeah, I know. I know.
Her fighting style is very unique, and I feel like they make characters so unique. The only character that I forgot was there, like Miguel. Miguel matters to some people, but like for me, I'm like, dog, that's Michael Jackson, kid, but he's Mexican. You feel me?
Yeah,
And then and then you got I forgot this guy was in the game, buddy with the turban. I don't even know his name.
yeah, I don't know his name either.
There's a couple missteps. There's also that like androidish girl that I'm like I didn't like her
Oh
gameplay.
no, y'all boys don't understand. That's not going nowhere. That's a staple now. Because
Yeah,
people are strange. Yeah, that's only people are strange.
Yeah, I know.
They like Adam West. They like Adam West out here from Family Guy, dog. You
Yeah,
feel me?
nobody talks about. Yeah, they're not gonna get.
Yeah, dog. She not going nowhere, kid. Nowhere, dog. Look at Lars. Lars' popularity is out the
but
window.
no, he did Lars. That reveal trailer for Lars was fire, and they
You,
gave him his rage art from Naruto, which was I'm like, bro, like who would have thought?
yeah.
That's adorable.
So that was
Look,
excellent marketing because I remember when I bought Storm Generations and I was like, so where's Lars?
It's a one-time cameo,
There's a one.
but the Easter egg lives on in this Lars redesign. I'm here for it.
Yeah, is exactly
um,
because
yeah,
they knew what they were doing with that one.
Mhm.
Because the next day everybody was like, wait, why does that look so familiar?
yeah,
And you see
yeah.
the side panel. Oh, that's Chidori. Like that's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's crazy. Oh man, it's, I'm hoping Finn Wade comes back. That's my favorite character in Tekken 7. Oh, that's the character I use. The Jet Li inspired villain. Ancient karate man movie, man. Ancient Chinese karate movie. Finn Wade.
I'm gonna have to look.
Crazy eyebrows, classic Chinese film inspired character.
Oh, I
Mm-mm.
know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, Feng Wei.
yeah,
Um
talking about. Yeah, oh, he's
th-
definitely coming back.
yeah, that Tekken 5, those characters from Tekken 5, that's like probably peak. You had Raven, you had Fenway, and there was another girl, or was it Murdoch?
Mordock.
Well, Murdoch was in part 4, right?
Uh,
It was somebody else. It was Raven, Murdoch, and Lily.
oh
Tekken 5.
yeah, Lily, the French girl. Yes.
Best lineup. Because those characters now, like Bruce has people campaigning for Bruce for years. We don't like, I don't even know, I feel bad saying his name, but Faku Ramen. That's his name. That's how you say his name.
Hmm.
I'm not using profanity. You feel me? One of my fellow church members come find me out and say, look at Joy, look at Joy. Like a Joy. You know what I'm saying? No, that's his name. It's no, he's, what is he? Indonesian? Taiwan? He's from Taiwan?
I think, yeah, he's one of from them southeastern Cape.
Yeah. So, you know, Ramen, that's, like, I want Bruce. You like Bruce is popular, man. I like Bruce, man. The thing with Bruce is, like, now they know how to do characters of color now. You got Raven, you have Master Raven. You got
Mm.
Leroy Smith. You can do Bruce.
Eddie,
You
like,
can do, now they got characters of color down pack now. Cuz
mhm.
Master Raven, that's how many black female characters in fighting games that's loud, you know what I'm saying? Even though she's not as popular, she won a couple of tournaments. Um, she won a lot of tournaments, in fact.
I don't think Bruce is coming back because of Faku Roman's fighting style. Oh, he's from Thailand, and his fighting style is Muay Thai, which originates from Thailand. So I do feel like that's a character they just kind of just gonna push to the side.
I don't know, man. Bruce is, like, I think, and then, like, Eddie Gordo got to come back.
I
You
think
know what I'm saying?
I mean,
People want Christie, but
me,
that's only because it's weirdos, though. You know what I'm saying?
me and Anthony was talking about that now. I was like, damn, we haven't seen Yoshimitsu yet. We haven't seen Eddie Gordo yet. So
I'm
like,
telling you, they're gonna sell Yoshimitsu on a season pack on them. I'm telling you,
Nah,
Mark.
nah, you can't sell Yoshimitsu, man.
Why not? All of our other fighting game staples have spat in our face at
You
least
can't sell
once.
Yoshimitsu, man.
They sold us Guile. They're gonna sell it. Like
That's
they've
crazy.
all spat in our face.
That's crazy, man. They sold Guile to the people?
yeah, Guile, Blanca,
Anyone. Yeah.
Sagat, E Honda, like, bro, like, no, trust me, Street Fighter Five, that was a rough DLC
Oh,
pick.
nah. That
The
game was beyond
the
me.
the Tekken slap in the face is coming. It's modern fighting game practices, unfortunately. But to move to tie into Tekken in our next topic that I wanted to bring up, 2023, right? I talked about this with y'all in the group chat prior to the show. Um, is it gonna go down potentially as one of the legendary years in gaming? And just to give you guys some context, I kind of wrote down some games that are listed to at least release this year, some of which have already released. So to give you guys context of why it might go down, we have Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. That's out selling like hotcakes. Resident Evil 4, critical darling, commercial darling, Capcom is up.
And wait, before you even finish, the DLC has yet to come out.
Right. So printing money, right? So it was everything everyone wanted for a remake.
Mhm.
Then you got Jedi Survivor, another critical darling. Granted, it needs some patches, but it's seems to be so far, what people wanted from a sequel. You got Street Fighter 6 dropping next month. Tekken 8, which will probably drop towards the end of the year. They haven't released a release date, but I can't imagine it not dropping, if not at the end of the year, by the top of 2024. Then
2024.
then you got Mortal Kombat. Then you got Final Fantasy 16, which is being has an action system being designed by the Devil May Cry action developers. Spider Man and
Final Fantasy may cry. Not no 15, not no 16, man. Final Fantasy may cry.
for,
That's
for sure. Um, and then it may not be necessarily for us, or at least we haven't spoken about it, but I've seen people continue to talk about Diablo 4, right? So we have all these big, 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 big games that are all set to release before 2024 rolls around, with the exception of maybe Tekken, right? And do you guys feel like, are these games that make you think like 2023, 2, 3 years from now, we're gonna look back like, yo, that was the one of this generation console cycle?
Um, I would definitely say it is a good appetizer for the drought that we experienced from COVID. because
Mm-hmm.
like early in the spring, we had Ragnarok, we had Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just that, and even before those release, it was the whole console war where everybody was buying up all these studios, but only like a quarter of them have shown their worth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is a bit too early to say that yet. And especially since, the way how the gaming world is different now in terms of news. E3 is canceled now. Sony bought Evo last year. So it's like the way we receive announcements is so different now. Like you could be at work and you could just get this notification from Sony. Oh, we got a showcase next week. Be there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it's like the anticipation for games now. It's really like it's just like a notification away. You just will never really truly know what's about to come your way. So I do say like yes, this year is a good build up for the drought, but I would really like to see like well how do they handle next year?
I think we're gonna get back to backs, man, because I feel like the COVID drought. Not only that, but like a lot of the red flags, the backlash that these companies been getting. I don't think they want to experience that again. Cause look at Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I got like we got examples. Look at the build up took years, but now there's no tolerance anymore. You had it with the game where you would go into the suit and start flying around. Um, it's not Destiny.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
for the A. Let's start with the A.
Anthem. Thank you, brother.
Mm.
Anthem. You had Anthem. Right now, you know what I'm saying?
No, but I definitely get where you're coming from, and like, there's really no zero tolerance for like things of that nature. That's why, like, even in terms of like patch rollouts, like, yes, like, yeah, everybody gets that standard day one patch, which is just so all right, the game won't fall apart. And, now as as a lot of people are playing, experiencing different bugs, because people have different playing styles. Now, like these refinery patches are coming out at a much more faster rate
Mm-hmm.
the time I would say probably like 6 months into the game cycle, like you really don't get that much patches no more. To this day, the one games that are still getting the most patches is fighting games
Yeah.
because of tournaments.
Even then, it just depends on the game.
Mhm. I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago or one and a half. Like they gave people from Tekken new moves, like every
Yeah, they did.
2 to 3
They
new.
did.
Like,
They did. Yeah.
I was like, okay, so like yeah, like it's a mix of things, man. Like they're not trying to like get that type of backlash anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
they're still like. But it's good to see that these games are like yes, this is the standard development which we're selling you, but like games have more longer longevity now.
Is it? With that's a good point. So, with that being said, is there any games that I listed that have yet to release that you're just like, I need this game to like blow me away? So, like for example, for me, it's like even though I felt like Miles Morales was a great halfway point between Spider-Man, I think it improved on a lot of things that people had, little nitpicks about with the original Spider-Man. It's like it's also been 5 years since a true and blue Spider-Man 2 sequel. So it's like I need Spider-Man 2 for me to blow me away. All the other games, I'm like, it'd be great, but I'm like, this particular game for me, I need it to be like, this is everything I dreamed for a PS5, like Spider-Man. Like, what would it be for you guys? That you're like, I need this game to be like the one.
You can go first, Tim.
Yeah, definitely Spider-Man 2. That's definitely on top of my list. That I'm really just looking forward to see like where they take this. First of all, story because you're going through Venom out there, going through
Mm-hmm.
Venom out there, so it's kind of like there's no going back after that. Um, so I'm really looking forward to see like in terms of story, like what do they bring to the table on that. And I just like as a developer, as a Insomniac, like Insomniac has been really just pulling out a lot, like in terms of like hardcore development. Like
Mm-hmm.
like them and I would say Naughty Dog are still like one of the top Sony flagship studios that are just like give it to the people. Give it to the people. Um like I said, the fighting games that are coming out, I'm really interested to see how they develop over time. Street
Mhm.
Fighter, I still have a little guard up, but I will purchase to see how it is. I am looking more forward to Tekken, because I did enjoy what Tekken 7 did in terms of story about the whole Mishima food, and then they're starting to X out characters now, Game of Thrones style.
Mhm.
And I love, like, Namco did some real good guest character, like stuff for Tekken and Soul Calibur the last console cycle. So I'm interested to see where they take it this time around. But yeah, like, it's truly a good year for like fighting games, open world games. But like, I'm just really trying to see like where do they really take this stuff from here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, I think we're gonna get a good. I probably we probably might get a good 2 to 3 years of consistency as far as games. I feel like COVID put a lot of restraint, and games that were gonna come out earlier wind up not coming out early at all, having to be held back. I think this it actually, in a strange way, worked in everybody else's favor, because games had to come out. Now you got these games that just have to come out. It doesn't matter what game is coming out next week, they have to, and it's gonna be like that for the next year. If let's say Tekken, the reason why I don't think Tekken's gonna come out this year is not because they don't want to, but because Harada himself and Michael Murray also stated like they're not satisfied with the graphics. At one point, I could not tell if this was Tekken 7 graphics. When you look at the Nina graphics and when you look at Jun look weird compared to Asaka, compared to Lin, compared to compared to those women. June looks weird, and even Nina just doesn't look real. Like, the glasses are hiding her face, but when you look at the rest of her facial structure, it's not really there's not really any straight particular shapes for her face. Because I would look at Kazuya and say, why does Kazuya look more rendered than everybody in the game? Then you would look at Paul and compared Paul and Law to Nina, and to looking at June. June looked strange. And when I saw Asaka, I was like, okay, she looked like they took time and they're starting to understand the engine more. And the graphics now looks like it's been improved greatly, because before that, I had my friends texting me, say, yo, is this Tekken 7 DLC? I said, nah, man, this Tekken 8. This is like, not jury, dog. Come on, man. And I'm pretty sure the investors. Did you say Mortal Kombat's coming out in this physical year? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not having it. And then you can't have a fighting game and not have graphics. That is the whole, like, fight aesthetics matter so much in fighting games. You cannot have, that's what makes me pick a character. It's impossible. It's impossible. Even think about it. It's so serious when we was playing the polygon characters. Yo, you see the 3 spikes on this man with the 4 angles? Yo, that's what made you pick home.
I
You know what I'm
remember
saying?
the Capcom, and like there was something about Captain Commando and his team's design that just stuck in my brain. I'm like, what is this? Why is there a baby and a mech and a mummy? And you're like, what is happening? Why does this man kind of remind me of Captain Falcon, but like more amazing? It's true.
And you can't. It's impossible. That's the reason why I picked up Mitsurugi versus anybody else. That's why you pick up Yoshimitsu. You have a man in today's time with a laser sword, and like, yo, who is this guy?
Mm,
Tekken has the most consistent design as far as like characters looking cool. Like, like Leroy Smith, perfect character design. Didn't know we needed him until I saw him.
mm,
That's the whole. That's the exact. I feel like that should be the aim for character design. Like, I'm even gonna say this is even gonna be a stretch. But all you had to do for Mortal Kombat was to just swap Scorpion's color scheme out with the red one. Now we got Ermac. No, at the time it's redundant, but we liked it. That's why I'm
yeah,
like. That's why we asked for Human Smoke in the
we asked
gray.
for it. We
You
asked.
you wasn't losing it. I was losing it, man. In the gray.
I'll take any smoke at this point.
You feel me?
Demon smoke,
But
human smoke that can turn to demon smoke. Just make smoke play. Do give him something, please.
hey,
Lord.
okay. I'll even go further.
Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks Smoke when he appeared, he looked fire.
Hmm?
He had the long sleeve. He had the long sleeve thermal with the Ninja Garden gear, and like this was gray, and the mask had silver lining, and the mask was black instead of being gray. Sub Zero's design and Deception with the mink and the ripped sleeves
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
shredder helmet.
Hmm.
They actually brought that back as a costume choice for 11.
Yeah, but it didn't hit the same. It didn't hit the
Yeah,
same, man.
all right. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Even Deadly Alliance Sub Zero with the white hair and the red scar, I'm like, yo, why'd you do that? Why'd you take that away from me?
Hmm.
His arms were turning into I. Nah, man, I lost it, man. I lost it, man. His
All
arm,
right.
that character design was so fire, and then when you find out you can unlock them as Shaolin monks, and you see that Sub Zero just had no arm sleeves, it was just his arms turning into ice. I said, nah, I ain't know I need this. That was bonkers, man.
So I
Scorpion always was fire. Scorpion's designs look. You had the
yeah,
little.
I
The,
don't think Superman's had a bad design yet, honestly, from what
no,
I could.
no, never, never. I'll even take Deadly Alliance Scorpion. That was fire. The
Yeah.
actual ninja.
So I guess it's safe to say that Jory's 2023 game is possibly a 2024 game, being Tekken 8. Like Tekken 8, you're looking to be a, like you're
Yeah,
like
I mean, Street Fighter surprised me. Don't get me wrong. I'm
it,
gonna play it. Um,
we'll have to revisit Street Fighter when it comes out. I feel like even with the demo and like what we've been seeing from the beta, I'm like, yo, they might have really pulled off like a banger. This might be the Street Fighter 4 of this console cycle. Potential.
Guile sold me. No, no, Guile sold me. It was Guile that sold me. Ryu's gonna be Ryu. I didn't really like Ryu's costume design too much. Um, I don't hate it,
Mm,
but if it was in all white, I would have accepted it more because it's like you can't just do a complete color swap like that, man.
mm,
You know, it just doesn't hit the same. You know, like even Ken upsetted me. Like, yo, you turned Ken into a hobo. Like,
as
you
with,
know, like
with Capcom, and one
I
thing we
understand story purposes,
for
but yo,
Capcom for sure there will be a costume pack, and then the costume pack for that costume pack. Don't you worry. They're
I
going
know, man, but
to
it's like, man,
summer wear.
Cammy's
Ken, which
design.
Ken alpha wear. Like they will. Don't you worry.
I didn't like DJ's design only because it does DJ doesn't look as unique as DJ. He just looks like man with fro.
Yeah, they made him more humanoid. He didn't look like a real person before.
I mean, you could. It's fine, right? You could. That's just the artist's design direction, to
It's
be
not
honest.
like a real person.
Because everybody look crazy in Street Fighter 4. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you seen Chun Li's ankles?
I have.
Yo,
I've also seen the
those are
rest
two
of
twin
dedicated to Street
turbines, dog. Locked together, kid,
Fighter.
holding
I've
trains together, dog. Like,
I've seen
yo,
them dedicated to Street Fighter 4 Chun Li's thighs. I know it wasn't it wasn't based in realism at all.
dog, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And then everybody had huge feet, no matter who you were. Your
Yeah, it's
feet, your
cartoonish.
hands, mitts. You know what I'm saying? Like, the characters could not pick their nose. Nobody could. Nobody. So, but besides that, man, like Street Fighter 6 is gonna be interesting. I hope they bring back Sean and not synonymous with the menu as far as like the character customization. You guys want Sean? Here you go. That's why they made the premier character black. You feel me?
But having Sean as like he's technically in the games. Like nah, this no.
Nah, that's not Sean, man. Like it's not Sean. Um, you know, like I like the game. I want Fei Long to come back. I want to see Fei Long in this game.
You're not getting Fei Long, bro.
No, you're not getting that back, bro.
We have to. We have to.
No, you're
No,
not. The
Yeah.
family
Cause
proceed.
no 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 no. I
Games.
heard. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
it's
he's not a
not
Joe
getting.
character.
I know. We know that. But that's like telling Marvin Gaye's family that a sample is not sampling the spirit of Marvin Gaye. They if it it's not happening. It's not happening. Rest in peace to Fei Long. He's not coming back.
Yeah, and yeah, like I feel like I like this one. I like this one. Cammy's design is just too. Lady Britain, I know where you from, man.
It's too patriotic, and like it's
Yeah, like, and she's not even wearing green. You know what I'm
But
saying?
again, I
costume
said
DLC.
exactly. It's Capcom, bro. Don't you worry. They will sell it
Okay.
to you for $1.99. Don't you worry, bro. It's coming. The costume pack
But
is coming for the next 3 years.
man, Guile sold me, man. I like Guile's design, man. You know, could you imagine if they gave him Triple H hair? I'd have been hot. That's not Guile. You feel
You
me?
got to go with trademark. You know,
And he got
uh,
eyebrows now, man. Like I got
eh,
mad. I was a little mad. Like, yo, the Guile I know is the American with no eyebrows, dog.
yeah.
The
But
the American flag right here and right here.
in case you had any doubts that he was an American man,
No, no, you can't have any doubts, man. If you Jamaican, you have to be Jamaican all the way.
yeah.
That's what got me hot about DJ. Do you see DJ's costume pack for 4?
But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. So next up, as Tim mentioned earlier, into the PlayStation Showcase this coming Wednesday, right? For me, I think it's a foregone conclusion. We know for a fact we're gonna see Spider-Man. There's no way that the showcase drops and we don't see Spider-Man 2. We've only seen a teaser trailer from a year ago for that game. And it's again rumored to be coming out. This actually not even rumored, confirmed to be coming out in fall. So we're seeing Spider-Man. This is just from my own personal list of what I think I expect to see. I think people have forgotten that Sony did drop another PlayStation VR2, and as for as much as I think it's a misstep as far as pricing point, right? Like, why am I going to pay $500 for the PS5 and then another $500 for PSVR? I think this is going to be something where they're going to try, just like everything else with them, they're going to try to at least initially support it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bigger segment than people might even like of just VR games or VR, like VR Last of Us, VR, just something, even like a VR God of War, just to throw that out. It's something that's going to like try to push the sales of the PlayStation VR. And then as terms of surprises for me, I think we're going to see some type of teaser trailer for whatever Naughty Dog's been working on when it comes to the Last of Us multiplayer game that they're going to be launching at some point. I think we're going to see a snippet of a snippet of a snippet of Wolverine. And for like just out of nowhere, the announcement of Ghost of Tsushima 2. That's my predictions.
Okay.
So,
Those are some solid predictions. Since they bought Evo, we're definitely going to get something fighting related. We're probably going to get probably 2 new Tekken character trailers. I would definitely foresee that coming.
sorry to not to cut you off. That made me ask. I want to ask you a question. Do you think we see a fighters announcement, a Dragon Ball Fighters announcement at the showcase since they own Evo?
Yes, I do believe it's about time because they did say that they were going to do a PS5 version with rollback neck,
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff. I do feel like it is about time to bring Fighters Z back into the frame of like discussion
Mm-hmm.
because especially since it's starting to get a lot more tournament love. Because first of all, let's be honest with you, nobody's going to use Tenkaichi 4 for tournaments.
No.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to go back to that standard beat 'em up, shoot you from afar type of style. Like Fighter Z is like the example of adrenaline rush in terms of like we've seen countless tournament videos of like I don't know how these people are fighting each other. How?
Mhm.
But I definitely do feel like it's time to bring Fighter Z back to the fold. Maybe we might get new DLC. You never may know. You've been still hoping out for a Mega Shenron for the longest. Who knows?
DT and superhero pack. Come on.
But I definitely do see a lot of stuff for fighters, for fighting games. Period. Maybe something a little bit for the new Final Fantasy. They've been consistent, from showcase to showcase to like have something related to that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and of course, like their flagship studios. They got to start showing what these dudes are pumping out because about like 10 new people.
Okay. So you think from the new studios we're going to see a couple more like announcement trailers essentially.
Yes, definitely more announcements.
Okay. Anything? Do you think there'll be anything that is a surprise announcement that has a release date of this year, or just more like, hey, just to let you know we're working on this?
Working on it. In terms of like coming out this year, it's a stretch.
Okay.
I would say maybe like existing DLC, maybe like a God of War Ragnarok DLC, um, because the ending does have like a kind of couple of cliffhangers.
Hmm.
It's like so, yeah, Horizon got a DLC. I would expect God of War to have like a kind of like an epilogue type of style DLC or something. Um,
Forspoken DLC 3.
Oh, we're spoken.
yeah, yeah.
They might have took Forspoken out to the backyard already and just put it down.
Boy,
Okay,
that's crazy. The title clapped the game.
man, that,
The title clapped the game.
that's his own podcast. Honestly, of like, what are the 45 million things that went wrong with Forspoken? All right. And then, Jordan, what would you say is your prediction? What do you think is something that you
Um,
feel like either guaranteed, like you would like to be pleasantly surprised by?
in the Sony showcase,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not really expecting anything, but except for the what to expect. I don't know about the Fighter Z, man, because Arc System Works just released a new character for like yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, this Guilty Gear not it, and it's free on the Xbox. I was playing it. I'm like, nah, it's not it. It's not it. Exarch feels way better. This not it, man.
I said the exact same thing,
Yeah,
bro.
Tim has said that a
I
few
was
times.
like Revelated Rev 2 compared to this, like, nah,
Yeah, this not it, man.
y'all took a step back.
I don't know. This Ben 10 season 2 when the new people took Ben 10. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is, because nah, I'm hoping Metal Gear Solid remake, you know, trailer drop. No,
No, bro.
because I don't care about Silent Hill. I
I
don't.
mean, I hear you, but they-
Yeah.
they're gonna need Kojima's blessing. They're gonna have like pieced it up behind closed doors. There's no way they get the like. It's gonna get the. It's almost like the Snyderverse. It's like you
Yes,
don't get to do Metal
it's
Gear
impossible.
Solid as Konami unless Kojima's like, nah, we're good now. There's no way.
Yeah. Okay, with Spider Man, I'm hoping the combat's different. I'm gonna tell you why. I think, although I like Spider-Man's take drawing inspiration from Batman Arkham Knights and the Arkham series, I don't think it's.
Play Arkham Knight.
Oh no, yeah, no, the Arkham series. I'm sorry. I feel like Spider-Man is more Spider-Man if he does combos,
Hmm.
like kind of like how it was in the Spider-Man movie game.
Hmm.
If I'm going back that far, or Spider-Man Web of Shadows, only because you can have the element where he can dodge, and the counters, but it's just I have to wait for it. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that I have to wait for it. You can do combos per se with Spider-Man, but it was easier to control. Like I could literally go on the pole, web upside down, web this guy to me, like just juke him. I didn't have to press R1, R2 to get the plate. If you can do a first person mode, kind of like Bayonetta, where things will highlight, so it's not a multiplayer game, so it's okay to have a little slow motion. Or if you can do some quick targeting, you know, and you pull the actual elements from around him and utilize it, that'd be cool. I would love to see Spider-Man open a car door and shove a guy in there, and then lock it or web it up, or you know what I'm saying. I'd love to see that. I'd like to see Spider-Man do more Spider-Man things. It doesn't make any sense that Spider-Man can't do stealth. It's like gimmicky stuff. The
Hmm.
stage is set up for it versus me just being Spider-Man and doing it on my own.
Hmm.
Like there's no reason to where I would have to kind of like wait for this guy because I'm playing Spider-Man right now on the PlayStation. I
Hmm.
wanted to get a capture card first, but like I always didn't like that. I hate the fact that I'm reminiscent of more Spider-Man stuff elements in the Spider-Man game where Tobey Maguire was webbing on clouds. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
there was more stealth elements there where it would literally turn it would literally like you could literally know that you're being well hidden versus trying to assume and guess and this guy saw me, let me beat him up before the other guys get alerted. Like those actual stealth elements, let me be Spider-Man. Like let me have more control over Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is you have nothing else to worry about within the game. I like Batman's fighting style for Batman, but I want to play Spider-Man. I don't want anything. I don't like when playing style I don't like when games playing styles are too similar. Like unless
Mm.
it's a fighting game, but like you giving me a totally new experience, man. Like I'm not. It's not working because the game is phenomenal. I don't hate it, but I think it's better that way because Web of Shadows, as awful as that game was,
That
you know what I'm
combat,
saying, and it's only because of the story. You feel me? And the
yeah,
glitches, but had they the
that combat's just
webbing in slow motion, they overdid it. But the combat was good. It was fun for what it did. Like
throw.
you can't let me be.
Surf
You
on
got
them, throw them back to the ground. Like it was crazy. It was
you
good.
can't give me Hulk, right? And I can't smash through the walls in the Avenger game like I want to. I have to. I said, what? This is stopping the Hulk from being the Hulk? Nah, this is crazy. And you let me play Hulk Ultimate Destruction, where I'm taking the wrecking balls and I'm yo-yoing it to like literally using it as an ancient Chinese weapon against the giant Megazords. Nah, man. Like it just let Spider-Man be Spider-Man. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how could Spider-Man not have stealth moments? I would go as far as when you're using your Spidey senses. That like I love the '90s Spider-Man for that. The when
To
he had his Spidey
like,
senses going on, it would turn to the negative color palette.
hmm
That made Spider-Man outworldly. Like the Spidey sense is something that no mortal man could attain. Cause like literally the Spidey senses is his brain getting fried. You like to really think about that because it goes to the negative space and then back to reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, yeah, like man, I want the combat to be more action packed. Even Spider-Man Ultimate, a treasure in the diamond in the rough. You know, like I want the game to be. It's okay to be Spider-Man, like fully. I like the cinematic approach, but I think it's so sometimes it's okay to to be suspended in disbelief. I think it's okay. Like let a game be a game.
okay,
And that's the only problem I have with the Sony cinematic thing. I'm like, you guys are doing the right thing. I love the cinematic approach. It's amazing, but like it's a game still. You could still be a game.
that makes sense. It does
You
make
know,
sense. I think to your point, that was one of the problems I had with this last Horizon game. Of like, it was the gameplay for as much as they changed, it felt so much more of the same because it was more so about like world building, and now this is happening, and now we're bringing the elements of how this world got this way in the first place, which is important. You need it, but it's like I also have to play this. I'm not just watching this. I'm not just like letting this play out. I'm like I got to interact, and it's like I'm doing a lot of the same things that I did in the first game. It's not necessarily an improvement. It's just more. Like so I see that point, and I do wonder if Sony's gonna have more of a stance of here's some really really dope innovative gameplay, and here's how we're having ourselves even stand out more in this oversaturated, overcrowded third person action adventure genre, as opposed to like we're gonna keep selling you Spider-Man the movie TV show game, the Last of Us movie TV show game, God of War movie TV show game. Like it's you're right. The gaming part still has to be the forefront, and I guess we'll see on Wednesday if the showcase kind of knocks it out of the park.
I hope we see. We're gonna see Final Fantasy, of course. I want to see Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, not the fighting game,
Mm.
the adventure game. Because when Platinum Games was in development for it and they showing those trailers, I was 100% on board. Now they brought it back and went under different hands. I hope we see that. Um, I'm hoping to see that. Tekken, I agree with Tim. We're gonna see at least 2 characters. I mean, if you're gonna really want to make an impact, show Yoshimitsu or show Raven.
We'll see.
Stop, man. Don't give Harada any ideas, man. Don't give the team any ideas. Please don't do that. That give me man, that's depressing. But like make Anna Williams DLC. Like I don't care about her.
They actually did. For
Oh
Tekken,
yeah?
yeah, for Tekken 7, she was DLC.
And that's why she's not in my slots. Yeah, that's good. That
Yeah.
works, man. Um that works, man. I think Wolverine, we might get some yeah, we're gonna get snippets, man. I don't think we're gonna get treated to like anything. Yeah,
No,
we're gonna get snippets.
there will be zero gameplay. There's no
Zero.
way Insomniac is finishing up Spider-Man 2 and working on Wolverine in a like a playable state. It's just
I
not that.
want I want a Bloodborne remaster. I'm hoping.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to play it. I'm not a Bloodborne guy. I wanna give it a try. Um
I
I
was
wanna
thinking Born 2, but not a
yeah,
master.
I mean, cause I'm not playing 30 frame Bloodborne on a PS5. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. Even though
Mm.
I downloaded it, it's 30. It's just it. Come on, I got the spaceship in my hand. You know how hard this took to get it in my house, in my hands, and now I'm gonna play something 30 frames with muddy graphics. No, I can't do it, man. When I played Elden Ring, that was an experience.
We'll see.
An
I
experience.
think that is a pretty good far out there projection of like what will we see Bloodborne. What will we see in the Souls-esque universe that gets announced at PlayStation Showcase? I didn't think about that.
Because I'm not giving any of these other companies that's making these Souls like games. They're just literally cut and paste. Like Lords of the Fallen, that's gonna fall in the wayside, man. Y'all not
Mm.
doing anything new. Like I'm not climbing. I'm not doing anything to where I could have more mobility. I'm not jumping. I'm still roll here, roll there, slash here, switch to magic. Nah, like you guys, these developers are unbelievable. These billion, I just don't get it, man.
Okay. All right. I think overall that's a good sum up of each. I think obviously as we all have kind of concluded, Spider-Man is going to be leading the pack in terms of showcase. Um, this is running a little bit longer, so I think we'll save the inevitable Nintendo Direct predictions and Microsoft predictions closer to like the summer showcase, which I think is what towards since we're not getting Evo, we're getting all the Evo announcements around. Not Evo, E3. We're getting all the E3 announcements towards the end of June. So we'll kind of revisit those as far as what we want to see from Nintendo and Microsoft. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how each of our predictions kind of play out. I think again, I'm hoping to be blown away by Spider-Man in particular. I think you made a good point in terms of the combat. There's been rumors of possibly even a multiplayer aspect to it since they're like how you're gonna work in both Miles and Spider-Man simultaneously. We'll see. But we'll
It
move
could
on
be
to our
good.
next segment. Move on to our next segment. Is there any closing thoughts for games before we move into the next segment? Tim,
Um,
Tori,
I do believe that we would also get Mortal Kombat gameplay for the PlayStation event.
you think so?
Yes, for September release, bro.
Yeah,
And like
Yep.
we're literally a couple of steps away from June.
mid mid season.
Yeah, I do feel like I do feel, especially since Sony has the Evo budget power now, where basically
Absolutely.
all those fighting games got to kind of come through them. I
Hmm.
feel like yes, we're gonna get some form of early gameplay. They'll probably show off the cameo system, I would say, so people can lay that to rest.
And you know that so crazy about that. That all came from Nine. We don't want to have a tag team system, but we can do something similar.
But
That's
that's
the
the thing. I
pitch.
think fans
That's the
want a
pitch.
tag system.
Huh?
I
No,
think
no,
the
no,
fans,
no, no.
yeah,
No,
I think we
we
want
do.
that.
We do. No, 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 we do. But no. Okay? Okay. This is the 80s CEO thinking, man. Let's get close enough to the product, but not give them the product, okay?
Right? I'm like an assist system. Like, bro, just give us tag combat, please.
And listen,
I hope they give us tag combat for Tekken. Like June is finally back in a main.
no. We not no. That's for Tekken Tag
No, no,
9.
no, bro, a game mode, a
No,
single game
you
mode.
you don't get it, dog. They made bread. It's called when Tekken Tag 2 came back.
It's true.
You
Tekken Tag 2 sold like
No,
hotcakes,
no.
bro.
The reason why Tekken Tag 2 came out is because Tekken 6 had poor sales.
Mm.
Nobody liked that story about when Jin went crazy and started a world war. So they brought out Tekken Tag 2. And
uh,
because remember,
what is it called? The Zaibatsu?
yeah, because the
What that mean?
Tekken Tag doesn't have a story. It's just they gave you every character,
That's
even
true.
Mhm.
even their copies and their costumes, and you just beat them up. Like I feel like since now June isn't a mainstream game, just give us tag combat as a mode. Oh,
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I'm also one of those people that's like, I'm back. I'm ready for like the modern day beat 'em up. So I'm like, I'm still waiting for the Tekken
Tekken
Force
4.
spin. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what me.
Nah, hey, Tekken Force was fire, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. When I was playing 5 and 6,
I know it's a controversial mode, but I'm like, I'm here for it.
uh,
and that's why I absolutely believe when you see the route that Street Fighter's taking, that's what Mortal Kombat should have been storyline wise. You can do a deception. Like that, technically, that's exactly what we're getting experiencing in 6. The world I made my own character in Street Fighter, right? And I can go into this world with my friends. And we
Yeah,
show you can and people like it's Pokemon. You got people chasing you, wanting to fight you. Like I'm like, yo, nobody's putting this game down.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
if like you didn't, even if you're a person who's intimidating by fighting, I feel like the marketing for the game coaxed you into like tricking you and becoming a fighting game guy now.
They want their casual fan base back. You
they
can tell.
also have simplified controls now.
Yeah, yep.
They
So you're
just
not intimidated by
yeah
it's
they
in this in 6 frames and 4 frames. Like, bro, I don't know what any of that means. Can I, combo into a
I
Shoryuken or
I played it. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm gonna go back to regular controls, man.
the faster controls?
Yeah, even if Guile got 7 Z's before you do it, you could
And
do one of his input. You know what I'm
he does
saying?
other game that I've watched and listened to. Is like, no, Guile's still just the same complex character that he always is.
Chun Li is yo to when you see people do a spinning bird kick EX after a good 5 to 6 hit combo, bro. That's bonkers, man. Because you
Yeah,
have to charge the input.
I'll say that's a thumb callus on both fingers. Easy.
You gotta do this. You gotta do this in the air while you're doing the combos, getting the combos off. Then and then spinning bird. Like
Right.
nah, man.
Fingers that have lost off. All right, fellas, this was a excellent welcome back to the Gamer Podcast. I think people will be surprised by the amount of content they got in episode 1. Again, this is going to be the final of the grand returns. No more announcements of be back 6 months from now. This is going to be the thing. We will figure this out. Um, Thank you, fellas, for being on this show. Once again, shout out your names, how people can follow you, and we'll close the show out.
Let's see. Super SS rank. Man, I don't remember my Twitter handle. I just made it too, man.
All right.
But I'm an artist. I'm an artist. You can follow. You can find me. You can find me at Super SS Rank on IG.
Okay.
And then the letters will be gold. Or if I don't know if I changed it yet. Yeah, the letters will be gold and white, and it'll be 3 S's, and it'll be my name, and then you can join and follow. See some of my pictures. I don't have a whole bunch of pictures up yet because I'm still working on my portfolio. But at that point, you'll see what how good of an artist I am.
Okay.
all right. Well, I mean, well, Anthony, I'm gonna make it simple for you. I'm just gonna give you all my information to put in the caption because people still read captions, so
Yeah,
all my
I'll
information
do this.
will be there instead of just saying it out loud. But I'm looking forward to the next discussion, guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
For me, Antonius the Great. well, however you're looking to spell it, it's probably spelled it wrong. I don't know. I messed up with the initial name, but it's ANTONIUS DAGREAT, and you can also follow me at Antonius the Gamer. And thank y'all for listening. Please leave comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or just leave us a comment, if you're listening on the podcast section. And we look forward to keeping this thing going.